And I have Sonja who may be joining me later too. So hi, my friend.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
Good.
How's my volume?
Good. Yeah, it's all working well.
Okay, I think I need to get a stand for my iPad, but this is actually good. I don't know what's up with my phone. It's like not like it's data's not working, Wi-Fi is not working. Like yesterday, it was like completely. Yeah, it's a struggle. It is a struggle.
Me and technology these days, I'd say for the last 2 weeks straight, it's like anytime I go anywhere near technology, it all just kind of fizzles out. So I might not be good luck for you right now.
We just go with the flow.
Yeah.
I would say yesterday, as much as it was frustrating, I'm like, that has probably happened like 4 times in like 2 years. Like
right.
it really has not happened much where it's been like, okay, guys, I give up, peace out. Like I have not had to do that a lot.
Yeah,
So,
which is great considering right,
yeah.
that you do this every day.
Yep.
Sorry, my son is yelling at me. He's sick. So what do you? Sorry. Anyways.
It's all good. All right. Well, I won't keep you because I'm sure that's like a ticking time bomb waiting to go off. So, real quick, what's going on with your business, with your online stuff? Quick shout out before you jump off.
Well, I just did a training this weekend called have you ever heard of Aldoa?
Yes, I have actually.
Yeah, so I just did my level 1 Aldoa training this past weekend, and so I'm excited to be not helping, but I'm excited to be bringing this to my people. I had already brought it to them before, as in bringing in the expert, but now I'm going to be able to share that in my classes. So really excited about doing that.
That's awesome. I thought you were saying you're going to say like you were just doing like rogue without a certification. Like I was just on YouTube and let's give this a try.
No, I would never do that.
People do that. People so.
Yeah, no, I have a different. Oh, hi, Sonja. Sonja's here.
Mm-hmm. She's doing a live with Ali Matlock a little bit later today too. So I want to bring her on to just chat about that if she's free.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna let her go. I'm gonna let her come in, and I'm gonna listen. Okay.
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 All right. See ya.
Okay, bye.
What's going on, Stefan? And Kara, how are you? Sonja, I'll bring you on. Andrew, good to see you as well. And hi, April. Maja. Okay, let's get this. Hey, my friend.
God,
I know, right?
Hold on, let me move my seat back. Yeah.
We got all kinds of newness going on here. I'm on my iPad because my phone's not being friendly, so I'm just trying to figure things out. But yes.
Who was that before? I didn't even know who that was. Hi, whoever you were. I don't remember who who it was.
Matters of Movement is her Instagram handle, Christina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I don't always know names, but I might know Instagram names.
Yes, I know, right? And especially here, right? Some people don't put their name in the information after, so
Hi, friend.
Yeah, so sometimes so I gotta see if Kara's free to come in after too. So or she could join us right now too. I don't know if that would work. Let's play with that.
Yeah, we can. I mean, you can get like 4 people on here.
4 on. Yeah.
It'll be good to see her. I haven't talked to her in like a minute. So yeah, it's raining here in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was nice and sunny and 80. But I think it's going to be nice and rainy and 80 today. So
I'm here. Sounds like a tough life. Like
yeah, well, yeah.
It's like 9 degrees and rainy.
Hi,
what's
Kara.
going on, Kara?
Hi. I'm good. How are you? Long time no see.
Huh?
Haven't seen you in, more than a minute.
I know. It's been a very long time. You know, things have changed, obviously. So other things have not changed, you know. Um, so rest in power, Trayvon. So yeah, so we were talking yesterday, or kind of back and forth. I think were we talking back and forth, Martin, or not?
This morning,
we were sort of anyway about my interview today at 3:00. So I hope you all can tune in. I'm not doing it on my platform. I'm doing it on Black Girl Pilates platform. But I wish there was a way that I was playing around with whether I could broadcast on mine and Black Girl Pilates, but I don't think there's a way you can do that. So
you'd have to have two devices playing, two devices recording at the same time. Like if you had like your iPad and your phone both pointed at you at the same time, you could do it. And then
probably wouldn't be able to see Allie. That's the thing, I guess. But mine, you know,
right.
Yeah. So you probably wouldn't be able, but it's fine. It's whatever. So yeah, so today at 3 p.m. I'm interviewing Allie Matlock, who I found out maybe last year, I think, because I did this whole post on like Black First within Pilates, right? Because when I first started Black Girl Pilates, I didn't even think we halfway existed. I thought it was just me, my teacher, and like Tila Anderson, and maybe a couple other friends that I met. That was it. That's all I knew. I didn't know anybody.
Right.
I didn't know there was anybody. I didn't know about Kathy Grant. Nobody volunteered to tell me that she was Black. Hey, by the way, you know, I just want you to know, since she started Black Girl Pilates, like, you know, she's Black. But nobody cared because it was just more about them making money. Anyway, a whole other podcast. But so here I am, you know, and doing this whole list of all, hi, Brooke B. Tyler. I was thinking about you the other day, doing this whole list of Black Firsts, right? I think, Martin, you might be on that list too. I think so. I can't remember. But anyway, I was just, you know, I was just like, I know that there's a lot, now that I know that there's a lot of us, there's more things that we have done that nobody really cares about, right?
Right.
They only bring up Kathy bringing a Black woman when they describe her. They talk about Kathy being a Black woman if they meet a Black person, but you know, nobody really pays attention to the fact that like she was the only Black elder, right? So here we are with Allie Matlock of Power Pilates, which is an international certification program. I can't remember how long they've been around, but they've been around a long time. I myself and Teresa Ellis of Pilates Bar and Jams, we had a conversation with him with maybe like, it might have been like 6 weeks ago. This is based upon a comment that I made on a conference that they're having recently. And so I ended up meeting him, and I knew that he was Black. Well, I heard from another Black person that he was Black, but then some other people were saying, well, I'm not sure if that's what he is or what. Okay, I'll find out. Anyway, he's Black, people. So, so it's a really big deal because, again, we're talking about international certification. So if you're looking like, if you're talking about like, even in personal training, you have like ISSA, you have NASM, you have ACE, you have all these other major certification programs. And so Power Pilates is like that in Pilates. And so for a Black man to have control over such a influential certification program, international, is a big deal. And so he's kind of been in the background for a while. I mean, some people knew about him, but again, it's sort of like that example that I gave. People knew about Kathy. She might have been fair-skinned, but pretty much know that she's a Black woman, but she does great things. And so let's take advantage of the great things that she does, not realizing that, you know, oh, you know, there's really, I wonder if other Black people really know about this. Like, they should know about this whole other podcast, right? So here we are with him, same thing. But he also, and I mean, I'll kind of let him sort of tell the story, because I'll
Yeah,
probably
I know
those
some of
questions.
his story. I know some of his story as well, and like you want to let him share his story. Um,
Mhm.
Finish what you're saying, Sonja, but I wanted to share a perspective and ask you too a question on this as well. So go ahead.
Yeah. So, but needless to say, it was a really great conversation. It was a very long conversation. Um, I don't think he knew who I was. I don't remember. I can't remember offhand, which is hard. I mean, considering the way that he navigates, I could see that that could probably be the case, that he wouldn't know. Um, but it was a great conversation with him, and I really appreciate him coming on. To talk to me. He's probably going to come on through Power Pilates, because he does not have a personal Instagram, which for him, to
Yeah.
me, to be honest, I would, given who he is in the industry, and folks will find out, I probably wouldn't have a personal one either, to be honest. Not as a Black man talking to me. Yeah.
It's interesting now with him. Like I've had some conversations with him and worked on some projects and stuff. And it needs to be said too that he's running Power Pilates, but he's not a Pilates person. So that's part of the
Mm-hmm.
reason where he's deferred to his Pilates people to be the face of the organization so
Mm-hmm.
he can run the organization.
Sort of like
So
Carla Harris of the
yes,
Pilates.
right, exactly. So then, I mean, um, that opens you up to people attacking you on, well, why aren't you doing more? Why aren't you asserting yourself more? Why aren't you using your
Mm-hmm.
voice more? Why aren't you using more power? All these different things, and everyone chooses
Mm-hmm.
to navigate differently. So, I just,
Mm-hmm.
from your perspective, I mean, what do you do with that? I'm shocked that he's coming on for this conversation, because I know
Mm-hmm.
that if you were to Google Ali Matlock, you cannot find it. He's a tech guy, and he
Yeah, that's
has no online presence at all.
yeah.
Like
Not like this, not
LinkedIn,
Facebook,
Facebook, no,
Instagram.
he's
Yeah.
like he is dark on
He actually is.
all.
He is on LinkedIn.
He's on LinkedIn, but there's no picture of
Yeah.
him.
Oh yeah. There's no picture of him. So.
There's just what his
Uh,
business does. So he's been very intentional with how he presents himself in
mm-hmm.
social media so that you can make a connection and then place expectations on him based on what you perceive of him. So
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
He's talked about people making perceptions about him in person,
Mhm.
and when he says who he is and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, so that kind of thing. um Carla Harris doesn't have the same issue, because she has to be out there. I mean, he definitely is more of a background person. He's a
Yeah.
tech guy, so he just wants to like do the things, and then you're like, who did that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You did that happened, whatever, and all this kind of stuff like that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was a really great conversation. I mean, he heard me on a lot of things, he heard Teresa on a lot of things.
Mhm.
um I feel like we kind of developed a bit of a friendship, you know and we're hoping to kind of like do some things with him. He has some wonderful ideas and things that's going on, and so
Yeah. He's so creative.
um, I think it's important for the Black Pilates community to know who he is and be able to talk to him and things
Now,
like that.
so that I think that is the base of my question right there, and Kara as well. If you, we
Okay,
just pulled you in.
like I'm gonna hop off and listen to you guys talk, because
Yes.
Pilates is my world, but I'm happy to listen. And
Mm-hmm.
We totally just hijacked your morning. Go for it. Just jump off, and then feel free to just comment wherever you want. It's so good to see you.
See you later.
If any of you have watched any of my conversations I've had with Sonja, one of the conversations that we had a while back is everybody is an activist, or everyone can be an activist. And we talked about the fact that some people can be on the front line, some people can be really out there, others can be more low key, whatever it is. So
Mm-hmm.
for him, like you're saying, it's good. I think that this is a great step that he's out there and he's doing it. But this is almost opening up a different chapter to his work and career now, because he's preferred to be in the
Mm-hmm.
background. He's preferred to
Yeah.
steer things, you know, in,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in the shadows, so to speak. So when I met him, I was like shocked to know it was a black person, right? Like, and to have this conversation
Mm-hmm.
man to man
Mm-hmm.
about the way that we do things, because I'm out here 5 days a week in front of everyone, and he's
Yeah.
in the background
Yeah.
doing great stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
we can all do things our way. So I think that it takes courage to step out and to do it the way that to do what he's doing with you today, and
Mm-hmm.
like for him to partner with you, that's going
Mm-hmm.
to be a powerful connection for him to see what you see and to do it from his place of power,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm excited for that. I really am.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also like his, um, you know, he's a tech guy. I mean, my partner is a tech guy. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
just about, I'm a Sagittarius. He's a, what is he, a Pisces or something. Anyway, he wants me to like tell him the three main points. That's it. He doesn't want all
Yep.
the other extra
No
stuff. And I
frills,
was
no
like, well,
fluff.
you're gonna get the
Just
extra stuff because that's just how I am. So sorry about that, Mr.
that's key.
Jamaican.
You just tune up till you hear your 3 points. It's okay. That's how they
Yes,
roll.
that's it. Um, I don't know if Allie is necessarily like that. Um, you know, but I think, you know, he's a problem solver. So he feels
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, I am too, you are too, because, you know, we've been in, we've worked with humans on a social standpoint, from a social services standpoint.
Yeah.
So, but it's just, it's a completely different approach. But, what I really want to see him do is, you know, this, hopefully this will encourage him to be out there a little bit more, because I told them about the importance of us actually seeing him. I said, because I would have never known unless I had been told, because I would have never known. And so for me, like, it's important that he understood that. He's like, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been behind the scenes for a long time, much
Like,
longer than I realized.
yes.
Been behind
Yeah.
the scenes for a long time. I had heard about um the takeover or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but he was not the person that they, at least not that I remember, he was not the person that I remember him, you know, them talking about.
Pull some stories out of him. He's I
Yeah.
yeah. I don't want to give his stories
Yeah.
up, but like
Yeah.
it was
There's a lot of
inspiring.
interesting stories. Yeah.
Yeah, it's inspiring, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think people will find Allie very fascinating. He's also, and this is just my feeling about my conversation with him. You know, he's a pretty caring guy. He really is. He's really nice. I mean, he's very like, you know, methodical, and like he's got these systems going and he's trying to rehance systems and all this stuff like
Yeah.
that. I get that because he's a tech guy. That's how he thinks. But he's also very, very caring.
And
Um,
creative and
and
yeah.
and what I will say, at least my feeling during this conversation, and I think Teresa would probably also agree to, is that he does very much love the Black community and the Black Pilates community. I think he just hasn't had a lot of interaction with the Black Pilates community other than the few people he may know, you know. And now that he knows, that's like, no, there's a lot of this. Like, there's a lot more.
Yeah.
It's not just, you know, it's not just the people that you've met. It's a larger group. And so, you know, just talking to him about Black Girl Pilates and when we started and the amount of people we have in there, you know, or the amount of people there in the Black Pilates community, period, you know, was, I don't want to say it was surprising to him. He was like, oh, there's actually that many people. Yeah, there's actually more. And, you know, so yeah, I'm excited about the conversation. I have questions that I want to ask, and
Sure.
hoping that, you know, definitely the Black Pilates community will come through and ask him those questions.
Sure.
You know, but it's a great thing because it shows the power structures in Pilates. The power structures have changed, not necessarily the amount of power, but the power structures have changed. So when Stella Hole Lampkin said that she was, you know, one of the most powerful Black women in the Pilates industry. I was like, she's right, her and
Yeah.
Carla. But then we also have a very powerful Black man in the industry, which is Ali, because he can truly change things within this certification. Power Pilates has had some issues in the past, definitely. Um,
I'm
and
just
things
typing
like
away here while you're
that.
talking.
But
Sorry. Black Girl Applies.
yeah,
On your
so
Black Girl Applies page?
no, I'm coming from my own personal. I rarely ever come from Black Girl Pilates.
No, I mean this
Uh,
afternoon.
oh, this, yeah, from Black Girl Pilates. I'll be doing it there. I usually do all those interviews there.
3 p.m.
Um, so, um, yeah, so 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when we're talking. So yeah, so I'm excited, and he's, you know, again, he's funny too. Just so y'all know, he's funny he's hilarious in a different kind of way. Um, so, so it's gonna
Yeah.
be fun
I was
talking.
gonna say too, the thing too that I took away from him was just recognizing how much of a North American perspective we have on Pilates. And from my conversation with him in the past, he's thinking about Africa, he's thinking about Indonesia, he's thinking about all these other places in the world that are yet to experience Pilates in the same way that North America has experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a shift in the gaze to what's the rest of the world doing? Like, why have we
Mm-hmm.
made New York and LA and the United States the center of the world in the Pilates industry
Mm-hmm.
when there's lots of people and lots of business and lots of other stuff that's happening in the rest of the world that we haven't
Mm-hmm.
shifted our gaze towards. So
Yeah.
that's the other perspective, that he's like, I'm not going to get bothered with getting tangled up in small arguments in North America when there's the rest of the world
Yeah.
that we can still connect with.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's sort of like I read an article that was sent to me yesterday about a Pilates studio that started that you can only get in by referral,
Mm.
or if you know somebody in that person's friend group. And they only have their studio in specific areas. So basically, like LA, New York. Um, I think but they did say, this person said that they will, they would never come to Georgia, which is interesting to me that they said Georgia of all places that they wouldn't come to Georgia. But I know why, because Georgia has a lot of Black people, so we don't have money. But basically, so she was making a racist comment without actually making a racist comment. She was saying, "Oh, but I'm just catering to a specific group of people." And if you look at the celebrities that she caters to, ain't none of them named Viola Davis or,
Right.
or any of that. Yeah,
Yes.
New York Times, Robin.
Right.
And the fact that I got a subscription to New York Times just to read the article, and I'm actually going to respond to that editor about what was said, because it's like, and not that it's not going to knock her business, because I mean, she has celebrity backing, and white celebrity backing is going to keep her in business. And I mean, she's been teaching for like 2 years, 3 years. She got certified at some random place, I don't know where.
Yeah.
But
was.
it just shows the amount
Yeah.
of it shows the privilege of being able to do that. So someone like Ali,
Yes.
as a Black man, is like, he's like thinking outside of, trying a specialty group or whatever.
Yes.
He's like, but there's no Pilates here.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's ventured here. Why haven't you? As
Right.
certification programs, even some of the well-known certification programs, which I will not name here, for the sake of your space, have not even ventured there.
Right.
So he wants to go to these spaces where no one wants to go because they ain't got the money, or they don't want, they don't do Pilates, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But yet the Pilates industry touts, oh, Pilates is for everybody, but it really isn't. You're lying. So it'll be interesting to hear him talk more in detail about wanting to explore outside the US.
Right, because Pilates is for everybody, but you're not for everybody. And you don't want to go to those places. Not you personally, but the people who say that, but then just give lip service to it, right? So I think that's, like, I just finished watching there's a Abercrombie and Fitch
Oh
thing on
yeah.
Netflix.
I just watched it.
That was good. So in that,
Yes.
that's a perfect example. Oh, we're just trying to be exclusive. We're just trying to reach these
Hmm.
people group. And you're like,
Hmm.
you're just trying to be racist. Right? That's what you're trying to do
And the
right now.
thing, what was interesting was the Asian guy who said that
Yes.
they said that they didn't want to hire any more Filipinos, and he's like, but I'm not Filipino though.
Right.
But then, I was like, wow. I mean,
Yeah.
just blatant, you know,
Blatant.
blatant.
Blatant. And okay, and so this is the thing. This is a powerful message statement that I was watching with Alex, and I was like, yes. There's a moment where the black girl was talking
Hmm.
about her experience, and they said they're going to do a
Hmm.
class action lawsuit, and then
Yeah.
she was talking about the fact that some things that happened to her, and then she said to her sister, like her sister's like, you should be on this class action lawsuit because of
Right.
whatever, and then
Hmm.
she said, but did they do enough? Was that enough to justify? And
Hmm.
that really struck home for me as a
Hmm.
black man in my experience in the workforce, where something happened. I was like, was that really enough to call them out on being racist? Was that really enough
Hmm.
to be discriminatory? So like you let things
Yeah.
slide because of your lived experience,
Hmm.
and then someone confronts you with it, and you're like, but was that enough? Because we've lived it so long. And
Yes.
and I
Hmm.
was like, oh
And so same conversations that we had with ourselves, like, you know, in the beginning of Black Girl Pilates, having those conversations, like you thought, well, I just thought I was crazy. I didn't think
yes,
I didn't think it was really happening. I was just like, oh well,
right.
maybe it's me. It's
It's
all
maybe
me.
it's just me, right?
Yeah, is it enough?
Mhm.
To say that that's what it is. And yeah, that's the same. It was interesting, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting documentary, and so I would strongly suggest, if you haven't watched it, to watch it, um, and also
Yes.
look at the people that are
Hmm.
a part of the class action suit.
Yes.
Um, so in what we're fed, that is, like the typical, if you ever bought Abercrombie and Fitch and stuff, I always thought it was very white, and I was like, I don't want to look like them, but it's very like, shapely, you know, white kids, and the girls were thin and blonde, and
Yeah.
Labradors and all this kind of stuff like that. And so when you see that, and very polished, and then when you see these kids over here, these black and brown kids and Asian kids, it's like, and you look at what they're trying to sell, you're like, oh, they're really not looking for them, because I was like, they don't look anything like
Mm-mm.
this group here, right?
Right.
It's called, what is it called? Yeah,
White
White
hot.
Hot.
Yeah.
White Hot. And I really like that they talked about the the diversity, equity, inclusion guy, the black guy.
Yes. He was now in the city of Mississauga, Brampton, all these places here. We're dealing
Hmm.
with the same thing, and you recognize that that gentleman was set up to fail
Oh yeah.
from
Hmm.
day one, and you
Just like
see his
Obama.
right, exactly. And you see how his ego rised up when there's a black man calling him out, and he said, like, listen,
Hmm.
this place was way worse
Hmm.
way worse when I arrived. So we've done these things. And it almost took offense to someone
Hmm.
calling him out on where they're at.
Yeah.
And that just comes as a result of the fact that he was set up to fail. So as much as he came across as pretty smug in the documentary, I still
Hmm.
had a heart for him, because I was like, yo, this guy had zero chance of success.
Zero chance.
Zero.
Which will not be the case for Ali,
Right.
because he's who he is. He is the person.
Yes.
He
Right.
is the person,
Exactly.
and he makes
But
the
and
decision.
now, from a leadership perspective, my conversation with Ali, I was I respected the fact, as much as like, well, why aren't you out there? People need to see you, representation. Like even me, I'm inspired by a conversation with you. And the fact that he stayed in the background for that long, I think is what gives him the foundation. Like you dig deep before you build a big building. So I think that
Hmm.
that time of building that foundation and digging that deep is something that's really helped bolster him and what he's doing and who he is and who he's
Yeah.
surrounded himself with. So I can see, like, in this world, when you look at that documentary and see how that guy They probably paid him
Mm-hmm.
a bag of money, and he probably still hit his head against the desk every
Yeah.
single day,
Or
right?
sometimes it's just not time for, maybe it just wasn't the time. And so now
Mhm.
now Allie probably feels like, you know what? I think it's time that people see me,
Right.
and I have things to say and stories to tell. And,
Yes.
and I've built some relationships and things like that. And so I think he's like, I'm going to do it. And
Get it. Yeah.
so I had mentioned it to him during our conversation that I wanted to do. And he's like, and I was like, would you do it? Cause I know you want to just be in the background, but he's like,
Mm.
yeah, I'll do it. And so, yeah, but it was quick. Literally, we scheduled this on Monday.
Yeah, I know. It's just like,
Yeah.
man, that's what you just take it while it's there.
Yeah. Yes.
Um,
But hey, I mean, it's going to be recorded and it'll be, be on the Black Girl Pilates Instagram, so people will be able to watch it. But I'm excited about talking to him again, and for folks to come in and ask questions and all that stuff. I'm hoping that all the
yeah,
folks who in the Black Pilates community who are Power Pilates, or maybe you're not, because I think with Power Pilates you have to like do all this stuff to keep your certification. But even if you're certified through Power Pilates at any time,
yeah, yeah,
come through and ask questions. And and you can just, anybody can really just ask him questions like, what is
for
what is
sure.
his plans for uh, for Power Pilates. I mean, I want to know, and I think we did, but I am going to ask this question about, like, of all things
Mhm.
that you could purchase, why was it a Pilates certification? Like, that's just,
I know the
you know,
answer. Let him answer it. Like it's
yeah. So
yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
looking forward to him kind of, and I think I remember the answer too, but I'm looking
Mm,
forward to just kind of like
sharing
talking
it.
about that and
Yeah.
everything. He's a really wonderful guy, and he really wants to see the Black Pilates community thrive. Particularly, I mean, it seemed to me that we are definitely on the top of his list,
Mhm.
which is why he's trying to go. He's not trying to go where everybody is still trying to go. He's
Yeah.
trying to go to those spaces that you don't know if you go over to Africa that these people don't want to do Pilates. I mean, we have a sister in Accra, Ghana, who
Aqua.
has a
Yeah.
very thriving Pilates
Uh-huh.
studio. She's probably the first Black woman to have one
Yeah.
there.
Right.
I don't know any other folks who are Black that have Pilates studios in Africa. To be honest, I don't know anybody
Who?
yet. She's the only
Yeah.
person,
There
but it's
is
not like
it.
you can't.
There's another guy there. Is he's with the same group, the Pilates movement? Uh,
Hmm.
he's a gym. I've been trying to get him on for a while. Obviously, just like we're having some struggles timing wise, but there's like
Hmm.
one other guy who's doing some work there. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, you're right though. I mean, but like, there's so many people out there. Just, there's
Yeah,
just a,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's a
yeah,
huge continent. Damn. I mean, it's like, so, um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see uh, how he kind of gets in there
mm,
and things like that. So we had some conversations about that, and I was like, well, you got to kind of de-white this space a little bit, because you can't go over there to Africa and say, hey, here we are, white
right.
savers here trying to bring you in, So he's like, yeah, um, but hey, I admire him running that whole international certification.
Yep.
And he had to, it's sort of like any other place, you go in and you get taken over, and you get rid of the people who are not bringing any type of
Value.
yeah, value, or taking away people's value.
Hmm.
um I actually worked with one of them that he fought. So I was like, "Oh, do you remember?" He's like, "Yep." And I was like, "Oh, good. I'm glad you did, because I didn't like her anyway." But yeah. So I'm excited. Hopefully you'll be there too. I'm sure you'll have questions and
Yeah. I'll.
like
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely.
Um, you know, hopefully all of you will be there to meet him and things like that. But I think it's important to see again the power structure. So has changed, not necessarily the amount of power. We still don't have,
proportionally the
there's a
same.
lot to unpack with that.
Yes.
but there are people out here who are really for the Black Pilates community. I have to say, like, it's nice that it's not just me anymore, that there's other people who
Yes.
really are. And I had a wonderful conversation, like, with Carla Harris, like 2 weeks ago, which was great. We've had many conversations, but this was a little deeper conversation.
Yes.
Um, and, so if you look at this completely different, right? It's just power and right now, like, representation. Um, right now. Not the amount of power that we deserve, but we've got it. So you got Allie Matlock, you've got Carla Harris, you've got Stella, got myself, you got got other people out there who are like, and things like that. So it's important. It's a long haul though.
It is. It is.
It's a very long haul. There's so much more to do, but I hope you all will come out
That's
and see
good.
this conversation. So thank
That
you
was a
for
good
bringing
chat.
me up about
My
it.
pleasure. Like I see anytime you're doing stuff, I'm just
So,
like, hey, what are you doing? Do you want to join me this morning? Like it just gets you
yeah,
in, right? So just like
yeah.
leverage everyone out there. If you're doing Instagram lives, you stuff like the key to the success of what I've been doing with Core Conversation, what Sonja's doing is we are leveraging everyone's audience. So now Sonja is sharing my people who watch this on a regular basis are now seeing Sonja, and you may not have heard of her. You may never had this close of a contact with her, and she's doing something. Jump on her page, follow her. Like, let's continue to just leverage one another's audience. Like, I am totally spending the last hour promoting something happening on someone else's page later. We all grow. It's not
Hmm.
the Martin Reed show here. It is about us
Yeah,
all growing and moving forward. So yes, everyone out there, do that as much as you can. Just like leverage and just, lean on everyone else's audiences and just get the word out and get the message out.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I might even ask them just some other random questions that have nothing to do with Pilates.
Do it, man. Yeah.
Just to make it kind of cool.
Yes.
But
Sharing
yeah,
is caring.
thanks so much for having me on.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone. I hope so. Hopefully, I'll see you today at 3
Yep.
p.m.
I'll see you
Standard
later.
Time. Remember Trayvon Martin. Rest in power.
Yes.
Thank you, Martin. I'm going to jump off because you got 15 minutes to talk to somebody else.
Thanks so much. All right. Sorry.
Bye.
Thank you, Roxy. Prime Minister is a long stretch. I'm just trying to get into city council in my area and just do that well. Roxy, do you got a minute? Do you want to join me on screen? And who else was I going to reach out to? Who was it? Matters Movement, yes. Blaze, hi. Kara came on. Hi, Emma. Got some. Coach Justice, you changed your name. I didn't recognize that. Poetic Heart Rose Justice. What's going on? Good to see you. I didn't recognize that you changed your handle. You just slid into the comment section there. Oh, your personal page. Lovely. Roxy's coming on.
Yo.
Hi.
You asked me to come on, so here I am. I hope you can't see my messy house.
It's okay. It's all good. One, talk about your course coming up. And two, I have a story from my class yesterday, so I want to drop it. But I want to hear about I want you to just share with everyone what you're doing and what's going on.
What am I doing? Like right at this particular moment or in general?
No, your writing workshop, please.
Yeah, because you really wouldn't be interested in what I'm doing right now. Yeah, so I have this writing course with Profitable Pilates, and it's on sale until Wednesday, 30% off. And it's called How to Use Writing in Your Fitness Business and Get paid. So it's all about
Where
how to take those ideas, get them down, how you can use all types of writing in your business, and specifically if you want to try and get it published in local print publications or online.
Nice.
Yeah. It covers like a ton of stuff.
Is it live? Is it a recorded course? Is it whatever? And Coach Justice, you should sign up for this, man. This could take your business to the next level, straight up. Anyway, just sidebar. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's recorded, and so you have lifetime access when you get it, and it comes with a workbook and step-by-step action plan, and also a resource list. So it's got like job boards, writing tools, things like that. Yeah. I'm excited about it. I've been getting some messages in the DMs, and it's based on questions that people have asked me from all the writing that I've been doing. Like, did you get paid for that? How did you get paid? How do you find a job
charge?
Like that? And or like, how do you find a job like that? Or is it worth it to do something for free? Who owns it? Can I resell it to like 5 different publications? Things like that. So we cover
for sure. Those are all that stuff is key. And I, on a personal level, I'm definitely interested in taking this course because, as you know, as you call me Prime Minister all week, running for City Council, I'm going to be hands off in my studio a lot more, but want to stay relevant in the business of fitness because if I'm successful, that's a 4-year gig, right? And I don't want to like detach myself from this, but continue to share the things I have a heart for in this space.
Right. Well, we got to Wednesday if you want the best deal on it because it's not going to happen again. There is something else I want to mention really quick since I'm here, and I didn't mention in thank you very much, Matters of Movement, when we had our chat. If you go to the Black Girl Pilates website, you'll see a tab that says BIPOC resource list. And on it is compiled, there's a bunch of different scholarships and offerings from around the world, not just in Pilates, but there's gyrotonic, there's yoga, there's continuing education, and it's specifically BIPOC scholarships around the world. So I want to make sure that gets out there and it's known because it was a couple weeks ago, I had a DM where someone I think I wrote a comment on another page about having the resource, and somebody wrote to me and said that they were struggling with their own, like paying for their Pilates training and didn't know about, they wanted to learn about some scholarships out there. So that is what the resource is for. So please spread the word. Anybody that's thinking about like a new career change, adding something they want to do more, explore, they can check out that page.
That's great. And actually, and I haven't told anyone this, but I'm on a selection committee for a Pilates organization that awards those scholarships for one of those organizations. So I was invited to do that last year. So that's fun to be a part of that process, and you get to hear people's stories and stuff. So we'll see what happens with that. So there's here you go. There's a real person behind it. You're not just throwing that out there and then have like a bunch of white people choosing your destiny for you.
Yeah, and it's listed too, like which ones are like run or owned by a BIPOC as well.
That's great.
So,
yeah,
and
good
we're
stuff.
in the process of putting together a teacher directory and some special Pilates that are specific to the Black community as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's going to take time. Everything takes me a bit longer to do these days.
It takes okay, so it's funny that you're saying that. It does take time, yes. And within the city here in Mississauga, we just passed that motion a few weeks ago, and that's one of our directives is to do that. It's going to take a long time to do that for a city, for you know what I mean? Like, but like there's so much fear around giving your data and it being used for ill in times past that people don't want to volunteer that information. So now we're so far behind trying to just gather information for good.
Right.
It's a higher level conversation, but it's interesting that even just within this one small corner that's what's happening on different levels. But anyways, I meant
also from a personal point of view, like everything just takes longer.
Yeah.
But compiling the information does take time as well, because I mean there's there's tons of resources and people out there that I may not be aware of. So it helps.
How do you
people let me know.
how do you find them? Like Ali Matlock, how would we have known that, right? Like,
I know. I'm looking forward to that conversation. Yeah, I didn't know about him either, so that's
very cool.
It depends. Like for instance, with the BIPOC resource, that was just things that I picked up here and there, and then I started Googling.
Compiling it.
I started reaching out to I reached out to almost everybody on that list in different forums, and I was like, "Hey, do you know of any scholarships? I'm putting together a list." Da 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 da. So I mean, it's not. I mean, there's plenty out there that I'm sure isn't on the list.
Right.
And I tell people to email me, and we just updated it in April, so we can continue to add things to it as well. For the teacher directory, I mean, that I'm kind of counting on Sonja a lot. Because she kind of knows what everybody's up to and everything.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah. Yes. Get a shout out from Uni there. I know she's not talking to me.
What's up, baby mama? Hey, Uni.
We have 5 minutes left here. I got a compliment yesterday, and it's a different. Thanks, Maria, jumping in there. Go. She's so fun. So it's interesting. This compliment I got yesterday. There's this app called the Nextdoor app, which is it's almost like a Facebook for local areas. So it's just Metavale people, and you could just follow people by your area. So it's a very tight-knit community thing. I put I put comments up on there, all positive stuff, similar to my Instagram. I'll maybe throw some exercises up there, whatever. And yesterday there was a lady that that was following me on that app, that was talking to her friend and found out that I teach a community Pilates class. So she came to the class yesterday. So after class, she was like, I follow you on this app. And sometimes people are pretty negative and stuff like that, but all your comments are really positive and stuff. And the way that I thought you would be in real life and the way you teach is the way that you write. So it was so what she was saying is that when I was teaching the class, and what she kind of imagined that I would be like based on the way that I put my posts up and just being positive and stuff, was what I was in real life.
That's nice. Cool.
Yeah, and it felt good. It was that's probably the highest compliment you give me. Just I am actually authentic in what I write and how I present on screen and how I am in real life. When those two meet, it's not just this over here and this and different. So I was wow, that's thank you. She actually waited till after class to say this and this, and they were the same. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, think of how disappointing it is when you meet somebody and they're completely opposite. We hear that so much with, especially celebrities. Someone, and they're just, maybe you catch them on a bad day, and
they brush you off.
All ego and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I got a story about Eartha Kitt about that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's a long story. We don't have time for that.
Yes.
We'll save that for when we meet and have a drink.
Yes, we gotta do that sometime soon.
Yeah,
we're definitely.
Thanks for bringing me on. I was not expecting this. This was very impromptu. Are you impressed? Well, I'm around more.
I'm loving it.
On.
I'm loving it. I hope that your class blows up. I hope that so many people sign on to it, and it just is just way beyond what you imagine with it. Because I think that people don't realize how powerful it can be for their business.
I hope so too. I mean, I don't know the numbers just yet because that's more on Leslie's end. She has told me that there has been a bunch of sales, so that's great. And I'm just looking forward to what people come up with and reading what they write.
Yeah.
And their thoughts on it. So I'm really excited about it as well. And you can also check out my Instagram. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so I'll be posting a Wednesday writing tip.
Yes.
And yeah, I think in the fall I might do a writing cohort. Maybe people we just have people need time in the week to just sit and write. Maybe we just meet up and everybody writes something like that. Yeah.
Like Kumon for fitness people.
Oh, somebody said they purchased yesterday. Thank you.
Amazing.
All right, you got to let me know.
All right, sounds good. Awesome. All right, thank you. I'm going to sign off for everybody. So thanks for joining us today. Thank you to Sonja earlier. Check out her thing as I put it in my pinned comment there. 3 o'clock.